Hello, Renee Flamont here. She wants love right now, so apparently I have to sit this way. I'm in the middle of filming these, and I don't want to stop, but she wants love. You guys, I want to talk about no contact. You can't talk about Hoover without talking about no contact. And I want to make sure that you realize something about no contact. It is put into place, the decision of no contact we arrive at, and it is put into place. And I mentioned it at the very end of Monday's video. Put into place so that the narcissist is not given any more opportunity to affect you. There's only one way guaranteed that they can no longer affect you, and that is if you don't see them, hear from them, hear their voice, read their text, read their email. That is why they say block them on everything when you do no contact. The reason for no contact, and maybe this will help you resist a hoover if you're getting one. We talked about the hoover on Monday. You want to get down? Okay, mommy. Say goodbye to your people. The thing with no contact is that is the only way guaranteed that they don't have an opportunity to be near you or in your circle. So I mentioned on the last video that when it comes to the hoover, if you have them blocked on your phone, you won't get their text messages. You will not see that they're calling you and be tempted to answer. They can, however, leave you a message, and it will show up under messages. You go to the phone, in an iPhone anyway, and there's a section all the way at the bottom, and it says blocked messages. I've done both. I've done no contact where I blocked the narcissist, and I've done no contact where I don't think he's blocked now, because towards the end, I wanted to know when he was calling, if I recall, so I could tell the new supply, because that was the train I was on. So I don't think I've ever, I don't know, it's been, but he doesn't contact me anymore. But that was a mistake that I did that when I kept checking the blocked messages. Now, you might say, well, you can't help it if they leave you a message. No, but I could have deleted them and not listened to them. Which incidentally is a lot of times what they do to us. I just had a flash. There was a time that one of my meltdowns, because we both go through things, and you're calling your narcissist maybe 25 times. You're in one of those periods and you're crying and you're leaving all these messages. We went through that once, and he screenshotted for me all of my messages with a blue dot, meaning he hadn't opened any one of them. And I realize now, I doubt he ever did. I doubt he ever did. They don't care what we have to say. They don't care what we have to type. They probably don't even read our texts. They probably just deleted them. So when you are in no contact and they leave you a message and it's under blocked messages, I know it's nearly impossible to find the strength to do it, but if you can, delete them, don't even listen. Because what happens is their voice is a trigger, yes? Of course it is. Of course it is. You were in love with this person. And again, it could be partner, it could be friend, it could be any narcissist afoot in your life. Their voice is a trigger. They might say just the right thing to get to you. They might appeal to your sensibilities. They might appeal to your, sympathy for them. And I'm all alone, and I made a mistake, and no one's like you. I should never have let you go. You're the best thing in the world. I made such a mistake. If you take me back, I'll prove it to you for the rest of my life. I'll spend the rest of my life. All of those words were in the hoovers that I received around the holiday. Because I had initiated no contact, I wasn't tempted to get back to him at all. I found those messages entertaining, but I didn't need to listen to those. I could have just deleted those. And had I been still in a weaker spot or newer spot to the no contact, I might have been tempted to get back to him with some of those. It got to the point that I was like, oh my God, this is pathetic. But when you're in it and you're feeling it and you feel bad for that person, and it's the holiday and they're alone and you think, oh, poor them, I love them. They were abandoned as a child. I told them I would never abandon them. And now here I am Christmas and they're not with anybody. And he said he was sorry and let me just call him back. No contact is so that you are safe from hearing their voice or reading their words. Some of these narcissists are pretty crafty. I started calling mine out on if I received a text message. This is how I let it dissipate until I finally went no contact. Because I told you, I went through everything. No contact, contact, no contact, contact, blocking, not blocking. There's all kinds of things you can do, right? But there was one time that I started to get snarky. And I thought, well, I can communicate with him because I'm not in danger of going back. So I would say things like, so what did you do? Just copy and paste that text and send it to 10 people? But here's the problem with that. That's not no contact, first of all, because I opened the door. But it's paying them mind. Again, controlling our reaction. That's all he wanted was a reaction out of me, and I gave it to him. That's what they're going for when they're hoovering you. They want a reaction. They just want to know that they can. So the minute I went back with that, I would notice every time it was the same cycle. Then his text would dissipate and suddenly he's not really responding or available. And then a few months would go by and then the same cycle picked up. I'd get 58 calls. I'm not responding. I finally do with a text. What is up? He fell off the planet. It was like a cycle kept happening. He was just checking to see if he could, if I would. And I satisfied his question, and I did. React finally. Answering the hoover, breaking no contact. It happens. It does happen. And I want you to know that if it does happen, don't beat yourself up. It's like if you're on a diet and you eat a bag of potato chips tonight, it doesn't mean you need to have a bag of potato chips tomorrow, right? Pick right back up. Forgive yourself. Don't kick yourself. I had somebody recently, I'm so mad at I have to start over from day one. That's all right. It's not AA, like God help and give those people the strength. That's a tough program from what I understand. And they do count day by day by day. And if they drink, they have to start over and start from day one. I understand that it really is your day one, and that's what they say with no contact. You have to start from the day that, okay. Don't let it keep being your day one. Don't let it keep being your day one. Tell yourself you're going to get through every Sunday. That's how I did it. When I was in the thick of it and it was hard, I would say to myself, I can do anything for 7 days. I'll make it to Sunday. Right? And then I'd be like, well, I can make it to next Sunday. I can make it to 2 Sundays. And before you know it, here it is 2 years later, and I got the Christmas wrong. Last year I was completely free. It was the year before. Hoovered. Yep, he was still hoovering me. Late 20. And every time I answered, I was giving him what he wanted. I want you to think of that no contact in your brain. So that when you're tempted to respond, you want satisfaction. You want to know what's he going to say, or what mood is he in, or is he telling the truth? Blah, 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 blah. I want you to understand they're trying to get you to call. They're trying to get you to react. They don't really feel any of the things they said. Yes, I'm going to say that right out loud. They'll say anything because their goal is to get you to call. That's it. That's their goal. It ends once you call. They don't have future goals. They were breadcrumbing you on the Hoover. We're going to do this, and I'm sorry, and I want you back, and blah, blah, blah. None of that. None of it. They just want to know if you'll call them. Breaking no contact is definitely something that we've all gone through when we are weak and we feel like we're dying to talk to them. What helped me turn a corner is once I realized that them reaching out to me had nothing to do with me. I just was becoming reliable. He knew I would eventually call him. And I thought, okay, so I finally realized, okay, so his other supplies were onto him sooner. At this point, he's got to have all kinds of pockets of new and old and supply, because I haven't talked to him, but he's talking to somebody. And right now he's hoovering somebody, and right now he's devaluing somebody, and right now he's triangulating somebody, and he's trying to bother someone that's trying to institute no contact, because he's doing it to many people at once. I want you to picture that. If you're not talking to them, they're not alone. And if you're not giving them the proper supply that they need, they're getting it from somewhere. They need it. They need it. They need to be revered. They need to be fought with. They need drama. They need chaos. They need attention. They're getting it from somewhere. They're not existing on an island. They can't. So when you're getting the hoover and you're trying to maintain no contact, I want you to think about yourself and what you're giving up if you reach back out. All you're doing is giving. Now, I know it's hard. You're like, but I was dying to know what he said. And on the text, I read this. But they just want you to respond. Think that through. That's it. That's their goal. So once you respond, they're done. You're like, where'd he go? He left me 58 messages in 4 hours from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. I saw every single message come in. That was his MO, always in the middle of the night, because it was always emergent. He's leaving a fight from the supply he had after me, leaving a fight, gets in the car, drives 3 hours up to the Orlando area, and he's calling me the entire ride. Emergent, absolutely in love, can't believe I ever left you. I will not ever, ever, ever leave your side. You can have my telephone. I will buy a house and put it in your name. Heavy hoovering. Why? Because he just got into a fight and is trying to prove to himself that he still got it elsewhere. I wish that women, men, anyone that is victim to this could force themselves to think of what they're doing on their end. Like, why are they hoovering you? Give that some thought. They don't miss you. I don't care what they say or how good they are. If they have this disorder, they don't have empathy. If you don't have empathy, you can't love. They don't love the way that we do. Mine loves me. I really think that he does. If he has this disorder, I would look at that again. If you think they really do have this disorder and there's been devalue in your relationship, repeated devalue, not, oops, I made a mistake, healthy couple, they work it out. That's not what we're talking about with a narcissist. There's repeated devaluing behavior throughout the relationship. During it, after it, that's not love. So that's the person that's trying to contact you. And you do have to remain strong. And if you don't have them blocked and you see their text coming through, if you think you're going to be triggered by what they write, you need to block them so that you don't get those. And that's hard, I know, because I was so curious, so I left it open. That was stupid on my part, because I knew by then this cat was trouble and nothing good was going to come through. And I was just curious. Why? Why be curious? They have a dysfunction. Let them have it. Let them sit in the bed that they made. How do you say? Lie in the bed that they made during these holidays. If they're lonely or coming at you and trying to get through to you, please remember no contact exists for a very serious reason. It is to protect you from harm from them, because they can infuse harm with words in a text, voice messages, calling your phone all hours, disturbing your sleep if you don't put your phone off. The no contact is something that cuts all possibility of them hurting you again. There's no way right now, for example, that the narcissist that I had before this channel could contact me. Well, I guess he could email me, but it wouldn't even have an effect on me, and I would just erase it at this point. Because you can't change your email, so I guess somebody could always email you. But it could even be in there for all I know. I've spammed them before, so maybe they go right to junk. I have no idea. I don't look for that. That's where you want to get. You don't want them to contact you. I've had people say, where's my hoover? Because they think that means they cared. A hoover doesn't mean that they care. A hoover means something is going on awry on their end and they're trying to feed their need for supply. If you have made a decision to go no contact, don't bite, don't fold just because they start hoovering you this holiday. Please, 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 please. I want you to remember, and this is the topic of our next video, I want you to remember your reasons for discarding the narcissist. That's Friday's topic, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you Friday.